Let's hear it again for the band. Thanks, Steve. That was very kind. Yeah, Willow Creek, the Bigfoot movie I made, played here, and it really was one of my fondest experiences I had with that movie. So I'm really happy to be back. I really love this festival, and it seems thanks. And I thank you guys for coming out. It does mean everything to me. You know, I make my movies way outside the system, so I usually don't even. You got a couch? I gotta tell a story that reminded me of, because people bring up that I'm not a sellout, and it's, well, I sold out as a young man. You know, I had the career you have on the way out, on the way in, I'm telling this story, I don't know why, because I know why. I was in a Snickers commercial with Robin Williams, who was he was my best friend, and I just bring this up because, you know, I really could use some bread, and he booked me on the Snickers commercial with him, and he called me up, and he was like, you know, they're going to ask you to do the voice. Are you okay if you do the voice? Meaning that I was going to have to do the 80s persona that, you know, people knew me. And I said, for the amount of money Snickers is paying, I will fuck a Snickers bar on camera. So I'm not that much of an artist. So I mentioned Ramen, and he's a bit of why we're here. He was a fan of Barry's and was familiar with Barry's story, which I initially thought I'd make as a narrative, like I'd make it as a movie that someone else would play him in, and that didn't feel like it was going to be very difficult to make that movie, and he suggested that I make it as a documentary, and he actually gave me the initial money that we used to start filming this movie, and that was just in 2 Februarys ago. So I didn't realize that was a big turnaround for a documentary. They usually take. I was at this fancy thing at Sundance with all the documentary filmmakers, and they're like, "How long have you been working on your movie?" And the guy's like, 7 years. And the other guy goes, "Well, we started 3 years ago." And I was like, "I started in February." And they didn't go, "Wow, that's impressive." They were like, "Huh." Like, they were like, well, good luck. I hope it's good. Yeah, I'd like to thank the festival for bringing us out here. We're going to do a Q&A, and I don't take it lightly that you spend your time in a theater watching my movies. You know, that's what I was trying to start with before I interrupted myself. No matter what the movie is, I always in the back of my head going, I don't know if this is going to get projected. You know, I always think that I'm going to be selling them at a funny bone after a comedy show. You know, Willie Loman of filmmakers. You know, it's important to be liked. You know, will you buy my movie? It touches my heart. There's a few autographed people on the way in. They had me sign Police Academy photos, so that was... Guys, I'm your biggest fan. What have you been doing? He says. Making movies. So thank you all for coming. Thanks again for having me.
Enjoy.